You didn't think that the Final Four of the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament was going to kick off without Team Vorpal here now, did you? My name is Wookleosis. I am the Smooth Talker. And joining me on the left hand of myself, it's Team Vorpal's own Sweet 16 finalist, that close to the Elite Eight, it's Digwoo!
Hey Will, what's going on? I'm just kind of want to introduce our two runners since they both are our Duckling program graduates and they're both crushing it right now. Spellzapp on your left, the most recent one, and ShadowWalker graduated last year. So, I mean, what else to say about them? Our program's working and it's showing in front of you right now.
Yeah, we'll get to more during the match, but on my right side, oh, it's Team Vorpal's own Baroness. It's Lyra. Lyra, how you doing tonight?
I am wonderful, and I hope you all are as well. We have quite the show for you tonight. Unfortunately, it's a little bit vanilla, so we have a forced fighter here, but we also have a very spicy forced white mage as the first mate, which is that random choice that you are stuck with for the rest of the run. Both of these runners have chosen to also go two black mages in the back row, so a lot of firepower here. What an race we're going to have here.
Same party for both players. This is the Final Four. Two former Ducklings have battled their way through. Spellzapp got through everything. He came through the play-in race. He got past the Dragon. Twistle MTG, ShadowWalker came in at 4-1. His only loss, really, this tournament was to Crabcakes. When Crabcakes stole it from him, he lost another match to the Enforcer Falconic FF. He was able to dispatch of Team Vorpal's Enforcer in order to get here. This is a best 2 out of 3 matchup. A little bit of paperwork as we are about to get going here. It is June 4th, 2019 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are off. Team Vorpal here. It's Lyra, Denwu, myself, Wookleosis, directly to the White Magic Shop with the Forced, oh gosh, Forced White Mage, not much wall in the 4th slot. We saw Lamp as well, but Nuke is at level 1, and both players have 2 black mages, Denwu. You gotta love seeing that.
This is going to be a very safe early game. They're probably going to save and go right at the Garland and start it out. I mean, Nuke level 1 is a godsend at the moment.
Spellzapp's gonna save. ShadowWalker checks out the item shop, picks up a cabinet or 2. Spellzapp's gonna take the opportunity to start running towards the Temple of Fiends. ShadowWalker's gonna save with a little bit behind, but he's got a cabin in hand. Spellzapp hits an encounter, good little run, runs away, gets away from the Mad Pony. Another quick encounter, steps after the first one, runs into some bones. He's gonna try to get away, and he does. He saves outside, ShadowWalker resets. He's figured out the encounter table as well. Spellzapp is at 1 minute, checks the first chest and finds 6,500 gold. That's a lot of money this early in the game.
Absolutely, and here we go with some great items, and we got the old party pack for our random trash mobs right there, but blasting them away with Nuke, just no problem for Spell.
And that's probably the greatest thing about early on is, since they have the 2 black mages, they have 4 casts of nuke. They can just do safety nukes as they're clearing these treasures, and then they go to Garland, because 1 nuke should take care of Garland.
Spellzapp picks another about 2,000 gold at the top. ShadowWalker's got it as well. ShadowWalker still got the white mage in the top of his party. Spellzapp leaves and saves. We call that a safety save. ShadowWalker nukes down Garland. Garland has been knocked down. ShadowWalker runs into an encounter shortly after Garland. Spellzapp takes out Garland. He does not. He rescues Princess Sarah. The King of Canaria hands over the ship. That's a strong water vessel that we like to see early. And, oh, Princess Sarah hands over the crystal, then. Well, I think that makes routing pretty straightforward from here on out.
Yeah, you'll probably see them go to the crystal, then go to Provoca at this point. I would assume, just because of the way that the shuffled towns are, you might get the Provoca is Provoca, or it might be Elfland, and you get those level 3 spells that you will be getting very shortly.
Neck and neck, we expected this. This is the Final Four, both players doing their shopping. They'll both jump on their boat. We've got to think that they will head towards Matoya's cave. her 3 treasure chests and turn in the crystal to see if she hands over anything significant, or see really whatever it is that she will hand over. There will be 3 loose items in this match, very similar to what we've seen previously. Could be 4 if we get a cabin. We'll address that should we get there, but right now we're going to stick with the story of 3, as Spellzapp is the first to leave. He saves just outside the dock near Matoya's cave, and he's going to run to a mad pony and try to get out of here. ShadowWalker slowing down a little bit. He's going to buy a silver sword for his fighter. I like this move, Lyra.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things about having a blaster party like this is you need at least one kind of weapon for that poor fighter. Silver Sword's one of the best you can get for early game, so I definitely love this play here. But we have a crown from Matoya. Fetch Quest City.
Spellzapp picked up a pro ring and about 2,000 gold in Matoya. ShadowWalker's headed there right now. We are nearing the 4-minute mark. Spellzapp is back in his boat he's headed towards, and he saves right at a junction. He's going to go and at the very least find out the information on the town shuffle. He's headed towards the original Provoca. He walks into the original Provoca and he finds Gaia. He immediately leaves. Does he reset? No. He's going to go in. He's going to check the level 7 black magic shop. He finds Temper there. You don't want to see that, but he's also going to check the armor shop. And he's going to check the item shop as well. More than likely, after that, he will reset. Why will he do that, Benwo?
It just saves time and encounter steps, because you're not taking any fights. And as you just seen, instead of having to travel all that way, you reset and you instantly teleport way back there. And now he can make that trip over to the dwarves if he wants, and makes his way down to Northwest Castle, which I think he's going to do. Some may call it the veteran move of sorts, I believe is what you would call it.
Spellzapp a little indecisive here. He's going to head towards the normal dock by the old Elfland area. He's going to check out this town. We're going to see what that is soon. As soon as he can get by the tarantulas. It's on rack. Check the item shop. Same thing as last time. There's no sign of a vendor item, but there is tents. Now, Lyra, he's got that crown. Do you go turn the crown into the kindly king of Northwest Castle?
100% at this rate. When you're seeing very endgame focused towns like Onrak and Gaia, which have level 6 through 8 magic, you just can't really think that you have to at least avoid some sort of turn-in of some sort of...
ShadowWalker is going to do the same thing that Spellzapp did. He's found the new Gaia as Spellzapp heads towards Northwest Castle. He's going to turn in that crown to that kindly old king who's missing his crown. ShadowWalker has 3 light warriors standing. He had that white mage up there the whole way in the front. As Spellzapp finds the mystic key and the... That's the Dark Elf. That was the Dark Elf. Level 5 for Spellzapp, as it was Astos all along, and a nuke took care of it. ShadowWalker's down to 3 light warriors. Denwo, you see Sarah, the white mage, on the ground right here, as ShadowWalker takes on the tarantulas. Spellzapp with a mystic key. He's going to check 3 locked chests here. He's still got 3 warriors standing, but Spellzapp also has a white mage. The white mage name is Deng. What does that mean, Denglo?
In most cases, whenever he names a character named Deng, he's probably going to Dan it off. It's one of those things that me and him both do. ShadowWalker's actually going to check and where the Elf Doctor is, it was actually transferred over to the Bahamut, the King of Dragons. But to go back on it, basically Spellzapp and I always named our white mages after each other. On Spellzapp's side, though, he tends to kill off the white mage. And honestly, the only reason why the white mage is alive right now is I expect him to check the Melmon before he dives Marsh, just in case exit is available.
Speaking of dragons,
Oh,
besides
baby.
the loose chime that Spellzapp just found,
Wow.
there was also the dragon armor at the top right there. Huge endgame armor, the best for Spellzapp.
It is. That's located at the Dwarf Cave. We talked about the loose 3 items going on. We've already found one. It's key-locked in the Dwarf Cave. It's the chime. It's required. ShadowWalker has picked up his mystic key after turning in his crown. We've got to think that he'll be headed that way as well. ShadowWalker, though, I didn't see Spellzapp do it. The objective NPCs are shuffled. Bahamut, Dr. Un, and the elf nurse or elf doctor, whatever you want to call him or her. ShadowWalker has that information. And what is ShadowWalker doing? He's going straight to Marsh Cave. Spellzapp's going to the Marsh Cave. Okay. I didn't expect this. Incentivized location with the Mystic Key, but a nuke in your back pocket, both players are going for it.
Yeah, the only downside on Spellzapp's side, he's already had to spend 2 nukes, so he's already down 2 nukes compared to ShadowWalker. So he wasn't able to get a house save, so now he's only down to 3 nukes left, and he has to clear this whole thing, or at least clear as much to the incentivized location.
It's a coral sword in the linked chest. Spellzap finds it. ShadowWalker burns a nuke into the undead that's going to take them out. There's some scorpions for Spellzap. He's going to try to get away, and he does. He's conserving those spell charges as best he can. ShadowWalker just steps behind. We are neck and neck here in the final 4. ShadowWalker's got his coral sword. He doesn't even bother to equip it. He's got the silver sword. He runs into the scorpions. He draws 2 of them. Spellzap not messing around at all. He's starting to check chests. This is silver armor.
You can tell the little nerves are showing because of Spellzap's little bit of fumbling on the fingers for equipment, but this is the final 4. If you were completely steeled, you're probably fooling yourself.
Gosh. I wouldn't have gone here this fast, Dang. When you talked about Melmond, would you have made this aggressive a play?
I mean, to be completely honest, I might have been able to, but unlike Spellzap, where he went right from northwest to the dwarves through there, I probably would have went to Elfland first, saved the nuke charges, so I had a full supply of them, and then made the dive, because I would rather do safety nukes while I'm running, compared to going in with a limited number of nukes.
There's the canoe! That's a loose item. ShadowWalker has it! Spellzapp hasn't checked that chest yet. That's 2 loose items in 10 minutes. And we haven't even checked the incentivized Marsh Cave yet. Who rolled this? Meridian?
We know who it is.
That's a ribbon in the incentivized Marsh Cave. Not progression, not required, but very, very desired.
Now, it's interesting as you have noticed that Spellzapp hasn't killed off that white mage yet. When I mean by kill off, he hasn't put that white mage in that top slot to kill off. I think it's the added run chance just in case. You know, in this case, he's got that added person to run away, considering he's got a limited, and of course there goes Dang, so there goes my idea.
Spellzapp picks up his canoe. There is 1 treasure chest left. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Both players, it looks like, based upon the way they're running, they're going to go for it. They're making this play look easy. Gargoyles can whack you, but that silver armor protecting Spellzapp. ShadowWalker runs into him. He gets away. Some more gargoyles. We're on the same encounter table. This is the same encounter on this floor. ShadowWalker has routed it very differently and quite efficiently.
I can't say I'm a fan of the white mage going down so early because you never know where life 2 fade is going to roll down. It might come up early, and you're going to regret those levels a little bit later on, but I don't think either of them are worried about that.
Neck and neck. Look at this. In stereo! Both players, look at the routing. ShadowWalker, like we said, routed that run a little bit better. He's out of the Marsh Cave. Basically, 10 seconds later, Spellzapp's going to be able to get out of there. We have the canoe, and we have the chime. 2 loose items. Both, the canoe, not necessarily required, but 9 times out of 10, if not more, it's going to be required, Denver.
Speaking of things that are required, the glare from the shadows completely drops Spellzap to 1 character, and it's just a black man.
Ah, he knew he was getting out of there. Glare, time elemental. We'll take out your warriors immediately. Spellzapp showing his encounter manipulation. ShadowWalker getting caught up with some Grimps. And a Werewolf as we hit the 13-minute mark. Behind the scenes, the Hangry Canuck. Thank you for everything you always do for us here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. You're one of a kind, Canuck, and you're ours. We thank you for doing all the tracking and everything you do for us.
One could even say Canuck will change the game for us as we get a little bit of an Elfland check. There's a lot of money, 34,000 right there. The cabin, but I think ShadowWalker's going to be happy.
$35,000 gold is huge. It's a potential vendor item coming up, but it was in Viz 2. Warp is at level 7. Temper is at level 7. Spellzapp's gonna buy it.
I'm not a fan of spending that much money on a level 7 spell this early, but I'm not Spellzapp, so I can appreciate the aggression.
We're here in the air-conditioned broadcast booth. We'll take it. ShadowWalker has returned to Castle of Canaria. Spellzapp picks up his 35,000 gold. ShadowWalker's routing and play has put him 20 seconds or so ahead. As he checks the Canaria Armory, he found about almost 5,000 gold or so far, and it's pure gold in a cabin. Spellzapp's in his boat. He's headed towards... Okay. He's headed towards the original Belmont area. Shuffle Towns, Dangwoo, what's he looking for?
He's definitely looking for new Provoca here, or he's looking for
Vanilla Melman, you say?
Yeah, but Vanilla Melman's not too fine, or it's not too bad to find either. But there's Exit that's level 5. I think that White Mage is going to hang around because he only needs level 12 to be able to learn that, and that makes Waterfall a lot easier.
Sahajin have Stone Poison ShadowWalker down to 1 black.
Yeah, he did not reset. I know he bought softs. He bought 5 of them or so with all that money. One thing to note right now, and you can see it on your tracker that's being done by Hangry Canuck. That chime was loose. It's Mystic Key locked. It's very accessible. Spellzapp has it. It's in the Dwarf Armory. ShadowWalker never went there. Does not have the chime at this point in time. Something to keep an eye on.
Bane level 5 there for ShadowWalker, but skips past it. Sees those powerful yet expensive prices for armor and just completely runs.
Both players sailing the high seas. That has been really the theme, and is the name here in the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Lots of surprises. We've had upsets. We've had great names. We've had big names go down. We've had so many great things happen. I mean, Dangwoo, you kind of came out of nowhere, 4-1 to make the Sweet 16. Dang, you only had 1 loss. It was to the undefeated and still undefeated Crab Cakes of all players. I mean, what happens if you don't run into her and so many other different things that have gone on? It's been such a great tournament.
It has
What's not
been
great for ShadowWalker is the little Lefane fight. Lupa!
What?
Well, you have to translate your slab. That's the only reason why you didn't understand us.
It was a double Frostgator fight for ShadowWalker. He wanted that fight, and he wanted that fight. ShadowWalker's going to the Waterfall at the 17-minute mark. ShadowWalker really taking no prisoners whatsoever. This was without warp or exit. Spellzapp has found the new Elfland. He finds Fade in level 3. That's White Mage learnable. ShadowWalker's White Mage is on the ground, eating dirt.
Heal 3, and there was also Quad X there in level 3. That was a big... Ooh, there's Life 2. Cure 3 also, but Life 2 is a little bit better. It just heals all that HP, and all you have to do is just take a...
Fire 3 and Lightning 3, level 4 Black Magic. Oh, gosh. ShadowWalker's playing very aggressive, Dangwoo. He might regret a little bit maybe letting go of Sarah. But he's not going to know. He's not going to know anytime soon. If he gets in and out of this waterfall, I don't think he's going to care.
I mean, the big thing that's going to make that decision whether or not he's able to is how many of these nightmares he goes up against, because sometimes the encounter table can force you into a lot of encounters, and if he runs into a lot of nightmares, they're unrunnable. And we haven't seen any of the mummies or the whiz mummies, so they might have something dangerous here on this trap tile.
It's going to take 2 nukes to take out this group. He's going to have to go through it twice. Wizard Mummy's accuracy are very weak, as is the way they hit. He's going to try to punch him down and conserve those nukes. There's a whack. It's going to slow ShadowWalker down a little bit. Spellzapp found the new elephant at the old Crescent Lake. He is now back in his boat. He's got the canoe. I can only think Castle of Ordeal.
If I'm Spellzapp, I would honestly do ordeals over Waterfall, because I have that exit at level 12 on my white mage. After doing ordeals, I can do Waterfall and just exit out.
TNT for ShadowWalker from the robot, but also finds the Mazamune in the same area. Holy cow, ShadowWalker's luck.
Wow. He's going to try to run, and he gets away. So he picks up the dynamite, that's the TNT. Earlier on in chat, right here, we are live right now on Speed Gaming 2 here. It's June 4th, 2019. Falconic FF, the Enforcer, he knows ShadowWalker quite well. He said that ShadowWalker's going to try to route in, turning in like a dynamite or an adamant, with checking up those chests. So, if that is the case, and that is ShadowWalker's plan, he will pick up his chime should he do that. As Spellzapp starts to make his way towards the old on-rack, he's going to find Lefane, and these two players are going to crisscross.
Crisscrossing will make you jump, but let's see how fast the ShadowWalker actually jumps on out of here.
ShadowWalker nearing the 20-minute mark, trying to get out of the waterfall. He's down to 2 light warriors. Spellzapp enters the waterfall. He's in a little bit better shape to make this run. ShadowWalker finds a good gap in the encounter table as we pass the 20-minute mark. Spellzapp runs into those unrunnable nightmares that Lyra told you about. He's going to fire a nuke. Is it 1? Yes, it is. 189 damage is enough to take out one of the ponies.
Apocalypse ponies, punishing you for your sins.
Bill is gone for ShadowWalker. This is now Dave and Ted's excellent adventure. ShadowWalker gets ambushed by a group of mummies, but again, their accuracy is very weak and they don't hit too hard. He's gonna take the fight. Was that his last nuke?
Looked like it.
Did look like it. He's close to the exit. ShadowWalker's gonna heal up as Spellzapp finds a nice gap in the encounter table. He's closing in to pick up his dynamite and his Mazmoon. ShadowWalker cannot run into those ponies, and he does not. He is out of the waterfall. Great play. That's why they're in the Final Four, and we're here in the air conditioning.
Party on, Will. Party on, dang.
I am sure glad our broadcast booth has air conditioning, because with all these nukes going off, it is heated out there right now.
It is. There's these buttons over here, and Dangwoo just keeps pushing them, by the way, fans. I have to keep slapping his hands. He keeps pushing all these great buttons. We don't know what's happening. Spellzapp gets his Mazmoon and his dynamite. ShadowWalker is back in the boat. We believe that he will head towards the dwarf cave, where he will pick up his chime, check those chests, and turn in and find out whatever in the world the dynamite turns into as we near the 22-minute mark. This is game 1. It's the best of 3. Right here. The winner of the best of 3 moves on to the finals to play the winner of the undefeated Crab Cakes and Tyrannex.
Speaking of Fallouts, ShadowWalker is making the play to ordeals with only 2 characters up and has houses, so we'll at least have spell charges for the ordeals play, but these are very spicy plays from Shadow.
He's not turning in the TNT, he has no interest, he uses the house. Dangwoo, very aggressive, very take charge by ShadowWalker, and it's working.
It is, and as I had said, I think I would have preferred the ordeals into Waterfall just because of what happened with Spellzapp. He got ambushed by all those Wiz Mummies. He lost his 2 black mages. Now he's got to walk out with a white wizard and a knight. He doesn't have the AoE clear that he would have with that level 1 nuke.
He's got to get out of here. I think he's got a fade shot or 2, but this party cannot run. Now he gets a chance to strike first here. He did not run. This would have been a guaranteed run. He's going to take the fight. He's going to try to whack him with the Mazmoon, and it works. ShadowWalker's going through the Castle Bordeaux Pillar Maze. Spellzapp cannot run very well in this scenario. This is critical on the left side of your screen. He's got to get away from these muggles. He's got to do it now, and he does.
Big load of Zombol there for ShadowWalker. Takes it down, no problem though. Still making through the pillar maze, but not really having too much of an issue here. That mask is putting Oh no, Spellzapp's down to like almost no HP. Gets the fate. No! Goes down!
Spellzapp perishes. Okay. ShadowWalker continues his struggle with... He got a quasi-whammy pillar in Castle of Ordeal. We're at the 24-minute mark. Spellzapp's got the information. Dangwell, you had your Sweet 16 with Tarnan. You saw the Sweet 16 war with Lord Fizzlebeef and Wookleosis. One parish that any of those runners did cost them the game every time. Spellzapp just perished. Is it possible that that comes back up and haunts Spellzapp here? Or can he make a comeback?
He can make the comeback because he's got the clear spells compared to ShadowWalker as of right now, but the problem is he still has to make that walk out. And what I mean that is the comeback requires a hard ice just to slow down ShadowWalker. He doesn't necessarily have to wipe him, but he needs stuff to slow down ShadowWalker. But ShadowWalker is playing so decisively. He's going in and he's making these plays.
He's making it look easy. I mean, he's making it look really easy. He's closing in on the incentivized Castle of Ordeal chest. Got an opal shield. He's got money. He's still got 2 warriors. Love it, by the way, ShadowWalker. And he gets the floater! Here you go. Have this. Congratulations. Wow.
all these plays that we're sitting here watching Shadow and Spell do. This is the final 4 for Final Fantasy Randomizer tonight, along with Will and Dang. My name is Lyra. It is good to see you all in here tonight. We have a lot of fans, players, and everybody pouring on in here. We've got Gouda competing in the tournament as well. Wandering Keeper, Simple Sarah, Other Shadow, thank you for coming in and spending your time with us tonight. You are always appreciated, and you are all always welcome here.
Xeno Jace LCB, that's Jeffy. Kapow is back. Speaking of back, you can see the great job by our tracker, the Hangry Canuck. He does it all. Thank you so much, Canuck. He relights the Mazmoon for Spellzapp. Spellzapp perished, he lost it. We took it off the tracker, now we're going to re-add it. Spellzapp's got it at this point, he's got to get out. Speaking of getting out, it's the 26-minute mark. ShadowWalker has entered the air and started to gain a little bit of an advantage here.
And as we had spoke earlier, Will, I mean, that was the one chance. If Floater's not there, it at least gives Spellzapp a chance to route a little bit better than ShadowWalker and possibly make a comeback. Now it's an even more of an uphill battle now.
ShadowWalker finding all those level 3 and 4 spell magics for this. Probably wanted them earlier than sooner, but better late than never.
Spellzapp trying to battle these Mudgalls. He hasn't lost his 2 black mages. He gets away from the fight as ShadowWalker has found Elfland. He's going to start doing his spells. He's going to find that life 2 in the first slot. No, he's not. He walked right by it. He doesn't care, Danglo. He doesn't care.
Nope. He says,
okay.
White magic? Who cares? I don't need that. It's overrated.
Some of the other names joining us right here live on Speed Gaming. Twitch.tv/SpeedGaming2. We've got ETAP, one of our favorites. That's Xeno Jace. And one of my newest favorites, Credit Fraud. Pleasure to see you. Great streamer. Twitch.tv/CreditFraud. Wonderful gentleman. Check him out, follow him, and say hello. as ShadowWalker does more of his shopping inside the new Elfland. Spellzapp has adjusted well. He gets ambushed by some mummies, but he should be able to get away with this fairly easily to get out of here.
Speaking of one of my personal favorites, Amazing Ampharos from the Zelda 3 Randomizer community. We are all over speed gaming. Everyone's joining us. It doesn't matter what community you're in. This is the hottest one.
ShadowWalker digs out Provoka, level 2 black magic. One of my favorites, that's Brack. Stone poison, single enemy target, high accuracy, instant death spell. The stone poison element. Lightning 2 as well as stun and zap. Zap being a time elemental. ShadowWalker takes the level 2 magic, the level 2 white magic. That's night learnable. That's why he took a look at that. He got out of there very quickly as Spellzapp runs into the stone poison say, hey, because he's got to reset. He's going to try to jump back into his boat. ShadowWalker has a little chit chat with Bicky then. Well, he's taking on the pirates.
He is. Let's see if he does the non-dang thing and actually make sure to talk to the pirates again. I mean, he is the top 4 runner, so I expect him to talk to it as he just did, but he gets rewarded with a overvalued ruby.
Yeah. Key item? At least the 4 chests could be required, but not likely.
ShadowWalker finds the loot for 6,500 in Provoka. That is super cheap for a key item, and you do need it in order to complete the game, so happy find.
Yeah. The loot is our vendor item. The Hangry Canuck is typing it out in the background as we speak. It is required. ShadowWalker, I think he got it, didn't he? I think so. The 30-minute mark. Spellzapp starts to go through the Castle of Ordeals Pillar Maze. It took ShadowWalker an extra minute or so than normal, so if he follows along that path, it will take him a little bit more. ShadowWalker has made his way to Sarda in his lakefront property. Sarda's going to hand over an item.
Gets the slab. Now, we are not sure where the actual Dr. Oon is. It's either inside of Bahamut's cave or inside Melmond. We didn't actually get a peek at Melmond earlier, so... ShadowWalker is checking Titan. Here we go. Get your Titan-fed emotes in.
Titan's hungry. Now, my question is, if he feeds the Titan right here, if he doesn't like anything and he resets, does the Titan get unfed? Let's find out. There's 2,000 a house, not much. He's gonna reset. Now, is the Titan fed or is the Titan unfed? I don't know.
No, Titan's fed. You always have to feed the hungry.
We actually traveled back in time, and that poor Titan is hungry all over again. I'm sorry.
ShadowWalker takes out the new Melmond and the original Melmond. Dr. Oon is there. ShadowWalker has translated his slab.
Is that one of those things where we have to call PETA? Because of the abuse on the Titan?
I don't know, but ShadowWalker is not a very good driver right now. He bangs into the forest in front of Dwarf Cave. He's gonna pick up his dragon armor. Hooray! Oh! ShadowWalker. Spellzapp has made his way through the Castle of Pillar Maze. He's gonna pick up his floater. ShadowWalker turns into TNT, picks up the required rod, and he's gonna check the Dwarf Cave Armory, where he's gonna pick up his chop.
Friends don't let friends drive airships.
Now, somebody had pointed out in chat earlier, when ShadowWalker came to Ordeals, that the zombie dragons had the death touch, possibly, and that could be kind of a major thing in Temple of Fiends, since you do run into them for a little bit.
Is that what happened? I couldn't quite tell. Do you think it was death touch on these zombie dragons?
That's what I've heard. I have not actually potentially seen it, but that could definitely play a role later on.
ShadowWalker is going to the Earth Cave. He's got the rod. He's gonna go mode it. With one loose item potentially still out there, potentially required, ShadowWalker. God, I wanted to make this place so bad. ShadowWalker is doing their squint from the bulls. That's an instant death. Death elemental. Protected by the pro ring, they have Blizzard as well. Spellzapp's out, he's got his floater. Wow.
This Earth Cave is a giant load of bull already, but trolls are coming up there.
I don't know about this one, Dango. ShadowWalker's played loose and fast, but this one might be a little bit much.
I honestly, I don't mind it too bad because you only check what he's checking, and maybe check the vampire and maybe the fourth floor, just because if it's, I mean, there's only one loose item left. You know, it could be essentially anywhere, but you might as well try and go as quick as possible on these real quick chests.
So ShadowWalker took a couple of great chests on the second floor of Earth, finds one of the 2 pro capes. Now this is an item that you can equip onto your mages in the shield slot, which is incredibly rare. Only one other item does it, and it's just the buckler, but this thing protects me against some pretty nasty.
Spellzapp jumps in his airship. We're gonna call it the 33.5-minute mark. That is ShadowWalker into the air at 26 minutes. That's 7.5 minutes after ShadowWalker got in there.
I like how spicy ShadowWalker is playing here. This is the play to go to the finals, and we don't have a bronze match that I'm aware of, so this is for all.
Spellzapp has a chat with Big. He's gonna pick on the pirates and pick up his ruby. ShadowWalker just passed the 34-minute mark. Is what's ShadowWalker doing?
Hey, dang, did you see that?
What was that?
He just kind of ran over the vampire shaped as speed bump. So everybody wave at.
I didn't see anything.
Me neither.
Weirdo, I see you, Darkwing Drake. Do you guys see an E-tap? I didn't see nothing. ShadowWalker uses his rod. He enters Earth B4. He's gonna skip the top of it, too. Ah, I love the play. I do. It's risky. Is this a gamble, Dango? Do you think?
It's a big gamble. It's weird because he did those small little checks that were on his way, but he won't check the ones that have higher chest density. And I mean, I don't hate it. You still have the Mirage, you still have the floating castle, which has a lot of chests on your way too. So, you know, he's gambling that it's going to be there. He only has one loose, and it may not even be required at this point.
Spellzapp with 4 Light Warriors still standing picks up a bunch of pro rings. They were for sale in Provoca. They were right around 5,000 gold. There's some tarantulas for ShadowWalker as he closes in on his first fiend. It's the Fiend of the Earth. It's a Lich. Lightning 3 from ShadowWalker into the tarantula is going to take them out. Spellzapp is back in his airship. He's going to head towards Sarda. Sarda's going to hand over the slab. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
So, ShadowWalker making this play to skip the 4th floor, that would be, if you're thinking about this logically, would be the one floor in Earth Cave that you would not skip the check on. All the chests are in one room, and this would the worst floor to have to go all the way back into should you potentially need it. Everything else is logic. I love these spicy plays here.
I love it too. ShadowWalker now has access to the Crescent Lake item. You had to take out Lich and light the Earth Orb in order to get the item from the Circle of Sages. Gotta think ShadowWalker's gonna head that way. We believe that is in the Old Lefane, and that is where ShadowWalker's going as Spellzapp has translated his slab. And Spellzapp's got a Black Mage as his lead Light Warrior.
I mean, it makes sense, because I gotta admit, having 2 black mages at this point, it's nice, but the problem is they have such little health. And by running 2 black mages, you're basically running with 2 casters that, a small breeze comes through, and they're both down for the count instantly.
Spellzapp passes on the Hooray Dwarf. ShadowWalker is going to fill up on heal potions. He's brought back Bill and Ted, his 2 black mages to go along with his fighter. Spellzapp's trying to release one of his black mages. He's going to keep a white mage. Level 6 magic is very important. There is nothing there, really. It's just stop. So our players don't want to come back all the way here in order to buy spells. ShadowWalker sees it's nothing he's interested in. And Dengu, did you give these guys their meds? What? They're supposed to be in a circle.
I gave them a certain thing. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
They're handing out their Oxyale.
Look, I seen the Tristle over there. He was in the back right. I saw Edge right there, and me in the back left. Yeah, I know.
Edge was there?
Edge was definitely there.
I saw Maya.
Y'all were having way too much fun with that party right there at the old Crescent Lake, as Spellzapp actually enters an ice cave for the first time. Finds an unrunnable group of undead. That's going to cost a spell charge there. Or maybe...
Spellzapp has entered the ice cave. ShadowWalker is going back to the original on-rack. This is... Lefane?
On-rack was indeed Lefane. That's the most interesting play right here is...
Okay.
You have the slab translated. Why not see what this item is? You might even peek into the level 8 shops right there. I highly doubt it in most runners' case, but this is information you might...
we don't have it. Alright, I see what's going on. There's another nuke from Spellzapp as we near the 40-minute mark. ShadowWalker picks up his adamant. Potentially another trip to the Dwarf Cave. We'll see how he routes it. Spellzapp runs into the unrunnable Wraiths. Vi fires out a nuke and takes them down. I see a Vi live in the chat right now. Welcome to the show, Vi. Beat Boo. ShadowWalker has left the new Lefane, the old Onrak. He's back in his airship and he's headed towards the Cardia Islands. We'll see if wow, ShadowWalker cannot drive today. He's gonna save in the air, go in and check a few chests. If he likes it, he'll use it. If not, he will just reset and get out of here. Spellzapp closes in on the incentivized area. He's gonna have to do the double loop. ShadowWalker does not like what he sees. He resets. He's headed towards the Marsh area. Spellzapp runs into the trap tile. It's unrunnable. He's gonna get a nuke off from Ash, though. That's Asher, one of Spellzapp's friends and ducklings, along with Dengwu.
Yeah, we definitely went through that program. As was mentioned early at the start, we did the new duckling program, and it was Greg Puff, Braxis Muse, myself, and Spellzapp. And Spellzapp, became a shining light, essentially, of all the new players.
ShadowWalker finds a card there too. Nice money source for it.
No sign of the tail yet. Also, no sign of one of my favorites, the cube. Still one loose item looming out there. The other item, well, the bottle is out there as well, if I'm not mistaken. But essentially, what we're looking for here is an end quest to involve the cube and the tail. Spellzapp is in the incentivized location we have not seen yet, as well as the adamant turn in here from ShadowWalker. There's that bottle we talked about. The opal bracelet.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Got the double checky.
The opal bracelet is also in the pool. So, dang, I mean, odds are fairly good right now that third loose item isn't required. Opal bracelet, ribbon, could be, the cube comes from here in the ice cave, potentially.
I mean, for Spellzapp, that's what he's hoping, or that it was in the cave 4th floor, just before Lich, somewhere where he's going to check that ShadowWalker has already passed.
ShadowWalker has the bottle in hand. He's in Gaia. He pops the bottle. There's a tiny fairy. A tiny fairy hands over that opal bracelet. The plot thickens just a little bit.
I mean, there's a lot of treasure chests left open. Well, that are left closed at the moment, but if I'm ShadowWalker, every incentivized location I check that doesn't hand me over the cube, the more I worry about if I passed up that cube.
Honestly, it looks like the cube is actually going to be our third loose item potentially. There's not much more that we can actually peek at. I like this dive into ice. This is potentially going to pay off big time depending on what this tries.
Yeah, so ShadowWalker is kind of more ahead since he's done a lot more of the turn-ins of the sort at the moment. Spellzapp's about to dive down into the incentivized ice location to take on the eye. We got the game changer, Will Cleosis. I know you're excited. I'm excited.
Oh, baby.
Rods, right, D4 ball.
Woo!
Unfortunately for our runners, though, it is hidden behind promotion lock, unfortunately.
That's my favorite Dengu.
There's the herb from Ice Cave. That could potentially turn into a tail, too. You never...
Yeah, I think at this point Spellzapp's going to make his way over there, check it, because even for him, every key item you find allows you to check less and less chests at this point. And unfortunately, Spellzapp forgets that the herb is not located here, but Bahamut.
Oops.
So he's going to have to make his way to the Cardi Isles. He'll check those aisles and rate it for its loot, which, if I remember correctly from ShadowWalker, did not find a whole lot of stuff.
There was some flame armor there, so that wasn't too terrible, but yeah. At least you can use it now and you don't have to worry about unlocking it.
Spellzapp's doing the same thing ShadowWalker did. Red Bones have mute, but he gets away. ShadowWalker on your right-hand side was able to run away. Spellzapp's still raiding the Cardi Isles. He's going to reset out. There was only money, and it was barely 2,000 between 3 chests.
ShadowWalker a full, essentially go-moded dungeon ahead right now. He's done the Earth Cave. He's got an Orblet. He gambled. That's what Dengu said. That's what I would agree with as well. He skipped some chests. We know there's a third loose item out there somewhere.
The black shirt was actually a pretty nice find, especially for ShadowWalker. Well, both of them having 2 black mages, so I like this. It casts Ice 2 when you use it. It's one of what we call the caster items. And it protects you from a couple nasty things, too, so definitely a nice find once you class promote, if you can.
Whatever the Elf Prince has is going to tell a lot what's going to happen in this game coming up.
And Spellzap didn't go talk to the Elf Doctor. Instead, he went to Old Onrak, New Lefane. He's going to get his slab turn in.
Unrunnable Nachos have more than 300 HP because Quad X didn't work straight off. Smacks the Black Mage down with 1 shot. That was a little bit painful.
Quad X is ineffective again. The Mazmoon for 237. Glance and just a quick play on the ribbon. The Mazmoon's going to take care of that Nacho though. And ShadowWalker closes in on the last floor of the Earth Cave where he's going to try to get his herb.
That's kind of interesting because Spellzap, he tried to kill off that Black Mage as he picks up his adamantium, or his adamant. He's now lost that Black Mage, so Spellzap goes 1 less Black Mage, ShadowWalker goes no White Magic.
Here's the information from Spellzapp though. Ice 3, level 8. We didn't see the White Man, but yeah, poor White.
ShadowWalker Lightning 2's the rest of the Wizards. He continues his 3-man strategy. Spellzapp is at his preferred 3 Light Warrior strategy. waking up the prince. We believe the elf doctor, Canuck, is in Bahamut's cave, is that correct? He's headed there right now, it looks like, yes. This will tell the story. If that elf prince, after he wakes, has the cube, then we know essentially where all the progression lies and we can find a direct path to the end game. If it's the tail, all bets are off.
We're about to find out. It looks like that's what Spellzapp's on the mind of, just heading straight for Elfland Castle.
I thought Spellzapp had exit, or did he use all his charges already?
You might have, you said that was level 12, I believe, is that correct? For at least one hit?
Yeah, level 5. Or yeah, level 5 magic, yeah.
Spellzap goes directly there. He's gonna save outside as ShadowWalker has his herb. He's tearing through the ice cave right now, trying to get out of here with his herb. And it is the cube! So we know where everything is now. ShadowWalker's on a... Wow, what a tear through the ice cave ShadowWalker gets there. And he's within striking distance of go mode under an hour.
So now I know what the third loose item is. That'd be that tail.
Spellzapp turns in the adamant. He picks up his bottle. We know that the opal bracelet will come from Gaia and the fairy.
Unfortunately for Spellzapp, this is the one thing he was not hoping for. He wanted that cube to be hidden somewhere, and so ShadowWalker, once he gets out of here, he's going to be in go mode.
ShadowWalker closing in on go mode. The only thing that Spellzapp is missing is that he has to take out Lich. He's going to do the Earth Cave, which ShadowWalker already did in order to get access to the Circle of Sages, who Dengwu didn't give their medication. It's all Dengwu's fault. Usually we play Mono, but now it's Dengwu today. And that would yield him his Oxio for go mode. But ShadowWalker is a man on a mission right now. One orb lit. He enters Elfland Castle with the Woken Prince, and he picks up his cube. ShadowWalker enters go mode at the 50-minute mark.
The real question is, where do you go first?
Well, he's got weapons, he's got the Vorpal. Can't equip it, can't use it, but you can have it, that's good. He's got the Mazmoon, that's cool by any light warrior. As ShadowWalker enters the Sea Shrine, so that answers that question. And Spellzapp's making the correct play. He is in the Earth Cave, and he wanted to skip, but he's gonna check. He's gonna check chess.
Now we know that the tail is going to be in the third loose chest, so Spellzapp might find something interesting here.
ShadowWalker is headed directly left. This is the path towards Kraken. He's the Fiend of Water. ShadowWalker's going to try to light his second orb as he runs into the unrunnable Wizard Sahag and Red Sahag fight. These are chests that Spellzapp is checking that ShadowWalker skipped. Is there a defense sword around here? A power gauntlet? A ribbon? Something along those lines that can make a difference. Oh!
And they have Nuke too!
Is that Nuke? Was that Nuke?
That was
It
Nuke
was.
and damage poison. On
They
the
are
same
fighting
monster.
back.
There's
The
so
enemy.
many
It is a radioactive war between the Gert Ogres and Spellzapp right there.
Spellzapp gets the information out of there. He resets as ShadowWalker checks some greed chests. He's now entered the Sharknado floor. Does he check the Sharknado room? We gotta think he does. Looking for the power gauntlet, perhaps. White shirt, maybe. 3 chests. Does he do the 3? 1, 2. There's a light axe. And there's the power gauntlet. Wow.
ShadowWalker definitely happy to be seeing that thing. As we know that it casts Saber when you use it, so you can only use it on the character you have it on the inventory of, but having that extra power is going to make any of those weapons that ShadowWalker uses really...
If if you're ShadowWalker now, Dengwu, with the addition of the Power Gauntlet, are you ready? Can you do this?
I mean, you can do it. I'm not very comfortable having two black mages, unfortunately, just because of, you know, one little gust of wind, you know, a tornado or a swirl, and they're done.
You heard it right there from Dengwu. Perhaps some foreshadowing. We'll keep an eye on that. I couldn't agree more. ShadowWalker now at the 53-minute mark is closing in on Kraken. He's on the floor of the Fiend of Water. Spellzapp fires a nuke into a big pack of wolves. That's going to take them out. There's what we call the Experience Pinata on the right side of your screen for ShadowWalker. Lightning 3 doesn't take him out. Doesn't take out the Grey Shark, at least. And what ShadowWalker did there, this is interesting. He targeted the big guy with the Masmoon-wielding fighter. And the reason that he did that was that so the big guy couldn't run away. Because the big guy has a tendency to do that. He wanted to make sure that he got the big guy and took it out. He got the information with the HP, runs into them again, fires Quad X, takes out the big guy. Look at the adjustment. This is why ShadowWalker is in the Final Four.
Spellzapp chooses to skip the 4th floor chest as well, knows the loose item is the tail. Interesting play here. Both of these runners look to be going into the Temple of Fiends Revisited without class promotion, which is entirely possible, but it definitely makes
ShadowWalker's got a Light Warrior stunned. He's paralyzed. That's Ted. It's not going to matter one bit as the Masmoon takes care of Kraken. A couple of levels for the Light Warrior. ShadowWalker lights his second orb. Spellzapp's closing in on lighting his first orb, which will give him access to Go Mode. As soon as he lights his orb and goes to Crescent Lake, ShadowWalker now enters the Gurgu Volcano. He's going after his third orb. He is going for it.
free turn for the purple punching bag there. Just uses ink, nothing special. Spellzapp just unloads into Lich. Down goes Lich in one turn. Nice and easy. Exactly. Spellzapp getting on the board finally with...
Spellzapp is going to take out these tarantulas. He steps away. He's about to light his first orb. ShadowWalker is tearing through the Gurgu Volcano. He's on his way to light his third orb. Power Gauntlet, Masmoon, he's got the Vorpal. He's got all the loose items, he's done all the math. He knows that the third loose item, which he does not have, is the tail. And I don't think he cares. He does have the Oxio. We're trying to get that to work on our tracker. Looks like the tracker's stuck. ShadowWalker is in Go Mode. And he is just tearing through the volcano. Look at him go. There we go, we got the Oxio in there now. Spellzapp headed towards the Old Fane. This is the new Crescent Lake. This will yield him his Oxio, and it will get him his Go Mode. ShadowWalker checks the greed chest and moves on to the floor of Carry, the Fiend of Fire. Runs into a couple red giants. Dengwu talked about it a little bit earlier. Who had the nuke? Oh, it's the Great Ogre! That's the Great Ogre with the nuke! The nuke, there goes two. Oh! ShadowWalker perishes!
Oh, wow. We have ourselves a little bit of the seed. That's what Spellzapp was definitely looking for, was a little bit of nuke action. Didn't find 4 of them like Spellzapp did, but 2 was definitely more than enough.
Hey, ShadowWalker, we have nuke also. Now die.
That's the first hiccup that we've seen. Spellzapp enters Go Mode with his Oxio. We're going to call it the 57-minute mark. If we were to compare Go Mode times, ShadowWalker entered at 50 minutes. We're going to call Spellzapp 57. ShadowWalker was the first in the air at 26 minutes. Spellzapp 33 and a half. So Spellzapp has closed that gap a little bit in that type of respect. ShadowWalker takes a wipe in the Gurgu Volcano. Lyra, merely a flash mode?
The pace that ShadowWalker is just ripping the seed apart? Yeah, I think that was definitely just a little bit of a scratch. No big deal there for ShadowWalker at.
ShadowWalker's burning off an encounter. That's that red giant one. He's gonna go back a floor, take an encounter here. Look at the encounter manipulation from the Panther on the right side of your screen. That was supposed to be the nuke ogres right there. He knows that. He went back another floor, took the fight there. Now he moves on to carry to try to light his third orb. Veteran move from ShadowWalker.
100%. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Dang and Will. ShadowWalker was in the same class of ducklings as myself. ShadowWalker is here in the Final Four, and I'm just here because I enjoy talking to all of you. So, what a community that we have built up. So much new player help that we have available for you on the Discord. It's run by Moist Mogwai, who is like super helpful for everybody that wants to come along. Why haven't you come in yet? The water's fine, and the vorpals are sharp.
They are beautiful. Now, Dengwu, you went through the classes with Spellzapp. He's got a light warrior named Deng. I mean, Lyra goes through with ShadowWalker, you go through with Spellzapp, and the whole Duckling Initiative program has 3 players in the Final Four within a year. That's pretty impressive for that group.
It really is. It goes to attest to the veterans and Moist Mogwai herself. You know, their ability to help out the new players, to answer questions and stuff like that, because you have to be able to answer a lot of questions that, to you, a veteran, is annoying, because you already know the answer, but to answer those questions, to help out those players, and to witness them grow. Lord Fizzlebeef helped out the Gregglypuff. Spellzapp's kind of come out on his own, but he still asked a lot of help from everybody else.
As Spellzapp finds the other katana there, since there's only 2 of them in the game. We didn't really comment about this. They're both going up to see Tiamat. Spellzapp is going for the second orb. ShadowWalker's going for the last one.
It's true. I mean, Go-moding Volcano outside of those ogres shouldn't take very long, but could cause, a problem for Spellzapp, and he could wipe again to the ogres when he goes down into Volcano, because it's going to be on that first tile or encounter when he gets down there.
Yeah, especially if he hard resets. ShadowWalker has entered the Mirage Tower. He's checking chess, so if you look at this on the surface, it's a, why is he checking chess? That's not what ShadowWalker is doing. ShadowWalker is checking for fights. He's gonna take every fight that he possibly can. He's gonna leave here and save. But you notice that he's walking. He's gonna save and house up and start to dig deeper and re-enter. Meanwhile, Spellzapp entering the Bridge of Destiny, and the crowd is already going crazy. There's Mr. Stone, the weirdo, Wandering Keeper. They want to see him, Dengwu. They want to see the Death Machine.
Everybody loves our Lord and Savior, the robot, the chicken Warmech. I gotta admit, I want to see him too, but for Spellzapp, though, maybe not. For ShadowWalker, yes. I want him to be unrunnable. I want him to cause ShadowWalker problems, because he's in the lead at this moment.
This
Bridge of Destiny,
Gary.
obtained from Spellzapp. It's a single encounter with a Nacho. We believe the Nachos have some sort of stone touch, or some sort of brack. Whoa, speaking of brack, broken into pieces. Spellzapp fires brack into the Nacho as he continues on the Bridge of Destiny. He gets ambushed. This is a good fight. 6 sorcerers and a Mudgull. ShadowWalker continues to check chess. But once again, he's really checking fights. This is a great fight for Cerebri. He's gonna nuke him down, take out most of them.
Lightning 3 goes off for Spellzapp. Definitely chooses to just blast away instead of actually running. There's the Fade that ShadowWalker does not have access to. There's also a Light Axe in the Greater Than Less Than room on the second floor there. Not a weapon you want to see this late. You want to see it a lot earlier on for Ice Cave and Earth Cave.
Spellzapp's gonna try to light his second orb. He's taking on Tiamat. He got through the Bridge of Destiny. ShadowWalker is going to walk out. It's gotta be the levels in the Black Mages, Denbu. It's exactly what it was that you said. He's just walking around for fights. use up his spell charges.
And a huge, big move by Spellzapp. He resurrects that Black Mage, and the Black Mage ends up bracking Tiamat for the air orb.
It's 2 orbs for Spellzapp, trying to close the gap. Look at ShadowWalker going for a hike. He's going to take all the fights on his way out, and he's going to house up. Spellzapp saves outside the Gurgu Volcano. If he takes the same route that ShadowWalker did, it's about 8 steps onto the last floor. He is not. We'll see if he runs into the Green Ogres again. That was a free chest. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That could set Spellzapp back. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker's still walking out of the Mirage Tower as best that he can.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice on Spellzapp's side. That white wizard that or that white mage has ruse, so he can cast that and keep up life charges with that white wizard, so he's not getting, meleeed down by the Kraken 2 or Tiamat.
Just past the 1 hour, 4 minute mark. ShadowWalker takes out some vampires. Spellzapp has made it to the final floor.
This is key.
There's the red giant encounter. It's about 4 steps later. Quad X from Spellzapp hits. It's level 20. Hang on. There it is. He only draws 1 green ogre. He's going to try to run. He does not get away. Wizard, dang. There's the nuke from the green ogre. 1 knee is Dan. Other white warriors are down to 1 knee. He saw that before, and he survives, and he gets away.
That was just simply incredible RNG. That could have been easily a full one. Carrie having poison touch, that's not very scary at all. We've seen worse in this tournament, including Catmen.
Spellzapp dispatches of Carrie. That's 3 orbs. He has now tied the orb count. ShadowWalker is still wandering around the Mirage Tower on his way to his 4th orb, trying to strengthen his party as much as he can. Spellzapp just has to do the Sea Shrine. He's got his Oxyl. He's headed to enter his 4th orb dungeon. Things have tightened up. ShadowWalker played fast and loose early, and it worked. Everything for ShadowWalker worked. Then he got nuked. Then he realized, oh, I should probably have more HP on my black mages. ShadowWalker continues to check chests, but once again he's looking for fights. This has allowed Spellzapp to close the gap.
Now the important thing for Spellzapp on this is the Sharknado. Does he greed check? Which I think he will. That's where the power bonk is. That's very important for him because you can't rely upon that second black mage. That second black mage isn't going to get that level 7 temper spells. So you need to find a way to increase the damage of your weapons. So the power bonk is going to be very important to him.
Take a look at Spellzapp's screen. He's got the unrunnable fight. Take a look at the bottom 2 light warriors. Ash, named after Asher, 215 HP. But take a look at Deng, the white mage. Spellzapp has kept the white mage going the entire time. ShadowWalker has not. Look at the difference in hit points. That's stat growth. The white mage has that much better stat growth than the black mage does. That could play a pivotal part towards the end game, because we're starting to close in on it right now.
As we're sitting here an hour and 7 minutes in, I know that we had Demon Frog join us in the middle of this. And asked for us for a mono recap, so Bang, I'm looking at you. Tell us more about this scene.
Mono?
So, I guess if I wanted to do a mono recap, it'd be like, alright, so Spellzapp and ShadowWalker both had 3 orbs, and right back to you, Will. But, you know, I'm actually doing a proper recap. Unlike mine.
Shots fired.
Thank you, Dangwoo. Give it to the fans, my friend.
So at the beginning, the king gave us the ship, princess gave us the crystal. They both decided to check out Matoya and Provoca, which ended up being Gaia. ShadowWalker is on the Bridge of Destiny, as you can see on the right-hand side. Matoya gave us the crown, Ibiki gave us the expensive ruby, Sarda the slab, Elf Prince gave us the cube, Astos, the kindly old king who decided to attack us, gave us the key, Blacksmith gave us the bottle, Narek the rod, Confused Old Men, featuring myself, Dangwoo, Edgeworth, and Tristal MTG, gave our runners the Oxio, Robot gave us the TNT, the Fairy gave us the Opal Cheerio, which is the Opal Bracelet. The Lupa Lupas, the Fanish people, gave us the Adamantium, or the Adamant. Our first loose item was the Chime and Keylock Dwarf. Our second loose was the Canoe in Marsh. And our third loose is Tail, which neither of our runners have found.
Thank you for that, Dang. That was really, really strong and insightful. This right here is Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Lyra. I'm joined by Dang. Team Vorpal has led off the final 4 of our spring tournament. It's been an honor and a pleasure with all of you tonight, so stay tuned for the rest of this as ShadowWalker is going across the Bridge of Destiny, runs into some slimes, and is going to take them. This is huge XP right here. Only finds 4, but still, that's way more than 2.
It's level 25 for a couple of ShadowWalker's Light Warriors. He's through the Bridge of Destiny. He's going to take on Tiamat. He's taking on Tiamat. Spellzapp is on Kraken's floor.
You know, it's interesting about that is ShadowWalker hit 24, which is Moss's sweet spot for the 5th hit. But Spellzapp has, if you've ever watched his, he always gets to level 22 before going to Temple of Fiends, and then he'll take up those 2 levels worth of fights in Temple of Fiends Revisited by the time he takes on Kraken.
Both players fighting for their 4th orb. There's a nuke from ShadowWalker into Tiamat for 176. That's his up. Spellzapp fires it back, broken into pieces. Kraken's down. Spellzapp's going to be the first player to light his 4th orb as soon as he gets past this fight. There's a nuke from ShadowWalker into Tiamat for 135, but a Quad X is not good enough. That's ineffective.
Sea Trolls have ruse. That's going to make the water floor a little bit more interesting if any of them are going to actually take.
Back-to-back nukes and a strike from the Mazmoon isn't enough. How about the Quad X this time? Mazmoon, 471 is good. Spellzapp has his 4th orb lit. ShadowWalker, we're going to call it 20 seconds or so later. He's going to heal up just in case. He's going to light his 4th orb. Spellzapp heads back to Canaria. He's going to fill up on heal pots. It's starting to get very interesting. This is an early time. These times are strong. I don't care if you're an elite player or not. 111 with 4 orbs and the loot and the Mystic Key is strong in this design. I've got to feel that I'm in the lead if I'm in this scenario, Dangwoo.
I would think so. I don't know, because Spellzapp had that wipe on Waterfall and stuff like that. I know he's got to feel behind still. Even with this time and everything that he's done, he's got to feel a little bit more behind compared to what ShadowWalker's feeling, because he didn't really run into many speed bumps except for the nuke by the ogres.
Speaking of speed bumps being run over, Spellzapp stops at Conaria, buys Wall for level 1 white magic. That right there will basically give your entire party, one at a time, the effect of a ribbon. It only lasts that particular fight, but it's great for Temple of Fiends Revisited, I can tell you.
Both players have entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Spellzapp was there first. He burned off some houses. ShadowWalker passed him. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 45 seconds for ShadowWalker. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 55 seconds for Spellzapp. Let's see if we can get a look at the encounter table and see if they're on the same one. Spellzapp a couple of missteps. He thought he was on the next floor. He is not. ShadowWalker is through. He's checking the validation chests. He finds a couple bucks. That's it. It looks like this is a similar encounter table with a couple of different steps from Spellzapp.
Chooses to take the old Taco Bell dragons. Wants some extra XP for those 3 fighters. I like this play, especially not so much in a spell-heavy party like this, but more in a melee party. But extra levels are definitely welcome.
Yeah, he wants level 24. He's at 23. He's gonna run from these gas dragons. ShadowWalker is through 1 hour 13 minutes. He's closing in on the earth floor. Spellzapp hits the phantom. It's runnable. He's gonna run from that. ShadowWalker enters the earth floor. ShadowWalker's opened up. 25-second lead.
It's
Maybe
okay,
30.
Will. It's okay. They're not here to hurt you this time.
Keep those things away from me. Barnum, ShadowWalker. Thank you. Those enemies have been dispatched from ShadowWalker as he continues on the earth floor. Spellzapp uses a fade to take out some earths. Or, excuse me, frost dragons. Ah!
And they're on both of them. Oh gosh, Will, run!
Both players are on the same floor. ShadowWalker's taking this fight. Spellzapp runs into the same fight. He's gonna run! If he gets away, he'll be tied, but he cannot get away quite yet. ShadowWalker pulls Lich. Spellzapp's gonna get a run all the way to Lich. Watch this, fans. That's the extra couple steps. ShadowWalker will get an encounter shortly after the Lich fight, assuming he gets through it. Spellzapp's gonna nuke down these green Medusas. ShadowWalker attacks Lich 2 with the Mazmoon for 337, followed up by a Fire 3 for 182. Lich has a little bit of HP. I don't think he's gonna last very long, though.
Down goes the purple punching bag for ShadowWalker, enjoying that little bit of a slight lead, and Spellzapp is actually doing some item menuing here. I like it.
There's that quick encounter just after Lich that we saw coming. Spellzapp got it on the earth floor because of his missteps on a couple floors earlier. Another quick encounter for ShadowWalker. He gets a good run, runs into some worms. Spellzapp fires a nuke into Lich, only hits for 114. Lich tries to fight back. Scratches Spellzapp. I don't think Spellzapp's gonna like that very much. He's gonna take out his Mazmoon, whack Lich. Lich has been terminated. He'll get a quick encounter. There it is. He'll get a good run, and then an encounter in the black corridor. ShadowWalker is checking the chest on the carry floor. Oh, wow. He finds nothing, opening the door for Spellzapp to try and catch up.
So those are chests you do not normally see during any sort of run whatsoever, vanilla or otherwise. ShadowWalker is still the first to actually pull Carry too. Burned down a little bit of time doing that, but oh, look at Carry has Bane!
Misses. ShadowWalker continues to attack. He's going down to the second round. We're at 1 hour 16 minutes. Spellzapp's gonna heal. He's gonna bring back Vi with Life 2. There's Quad X from ShadowWalker. That's ineffective. Fires a nuke for 324. It hits hard. ShadowWalker lost his fighter, and he has to reset. This is the Spellzapp's game to win.
Carry had Zap.
Oh, and that poison
And
his
ShadowWalker
fighter now too. But Spellzapp has Life 2 if he can get through this. He's got to make this happen. He's got to do it now. Zap from Carry misses. If Spellzapp can do this, he can make it a comeback. Nukes and fades. Heat Seekers and a Sidewinder is not enough. He's got to go for Quad X and another fade. Does Quad X hit for Spellzapp? It does not! Carry takes out the Black Mage. Sidewinder for only 90. He's out of him. He's got to reset. Spellzapp's out of this. It's back to ShadowWalker.
We have ourselves a Gatekeeper Carry 2. ShadowWalker, the only reason why ShadowWalker reset, did not move the second ribbon onto the fighter. That was the only difference. He probably would have two-manned that. Oh my goodness, what a run we have here.
Welcome to the Final Four, fans. You want to play this game? Where can they go, Daniel?
They can go to our website. It is FinalFantasyRandomizer.com.
Links to the Discord are there. Play the game, design it all you want. You can see all these great things that Lyra talks about. You can stay away from green Medusas on the Earth floor as best as you can, please. No one wants to see them ever again.
It's okay, Will. I'm right here.
I think I'm more terrified of those McGirt orders, because for some reason they also went radioactive. Or nuclear, if you want to call it.
Yes.
One could even say there was a fallout in this Temple of Fiends.
Bum, bum, bum.
So if both players hard reset, they're going to go in on the same encounter table as they did last time. Spellzapp should be able to correct the few little missteps that he had. And should hit this same encounter table, green Medusas, followed by Earth, followed by green Medusas. Now there's the Earth. Spellzapp gets away. He's closing in on ShadowWalker now. We are neck and neck. Spellzapp with a huge run all the way to Lich 2. Spellzapp takes the lead again. Nuke from Spellzapp into Lich for $160. Sidewinder for 284 is good enough. That's a holy. We call it Fade here. 1 hour 19 minutes. This seems like a different encounter table for Spellzapp. ShadowWalker is taking on Lich 2. Spellzapp has assumed control of this match at this point. ShadowWalker had it the entire game. Spellzapp caught up and evened it. We were even, and Spellzapp starting to try to push ShadowWalker behind him and try to win this match. It's the best 2 out of 3. This is game 1.
So, interesting note from Crabcakes, our undefeated princess of Final Fantasy Randomizer. There is what we call the 1% rule. There is about a 303 and 256 chance, aka the 1% rule, where something will go through a ribbon and completely decimate whatever magic it is. That could have potentially happened to ShadowWalker as well. Just something to note.
Spellzapp does have Wall on his White Wizard. He can cast that, which he's doing right now.
Fires off a nuke in the beginning. There's the Bane! The Bane gets through. Vi is gone! Didn't get the wall off. Doesn't necessarily... Well, yes, got the wall off now. After a Maz Moonstrike, ShadowWalker's just behind. We know Zap is another spell in her skill list. Will she live to cast it? We know she's got HP. There's a nuke for 202 and a slice from the Maz for 254. There's Blaze! That's a skill. It's a fire elemental skill. Another strike from Spellzapp and the Maz Moon carries dispatched. Spellzapp's gonna move on to the water floor. ShadowWalker's gonna heal. He's gonna prepare for this fight. He perished to carry 2. Just minutes ago. He's gotta get through this. The difference here might be that white mage coming up, Dengwu. It's named Deng. It could be Dengwu that makes the difference.
There's the old sea trolls with Riz I was telling you about. ShadowWalker pulls carry 2 again. Go ahead, Nick.
I mean, the White Wizard I think was a good idea to keep up. I mean, considering the Black Mage is essentially just becoming a nuke bot, and since it's level 1 slot anyways, you know, having Vi, that second slot Black Mage that you see right now, it's just up to cast nuke only. I mean, what's the point?
ShadowWalker is through carry 2. He's gonna heal up. He's on the water floor. 1 hour, 21 minutes and change. The winner takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 3. The winner of the best of 3 series moves on to the finals for a shot to become the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament champion. ShadowWalker with a huge run is now taking on Kraken. Walked right into him, starts to attack with the Mazmoon 412, and Kraken is gone.
That is one tissue paper Kraken. Shadow is just completely decimating this.
Wow.
Wow,
Blinking, you missed it. Spellzapp's doing more prep for the Kraken fight. Spellzap pulls Kraken. ShadowWalker has passed him, taking on Tiamat 2. There's a nuke from ShadowWalker. Buck 36 got resisted. Fire 3. Fire 3 hits Bill pretty hard. Another nuke from ShadowWalker for a buck 31. Can the Mazmoon get this done? 312, it does not. Spellzap is through Kraken. Spellzap moves on. He's on the same floor that ShadowWalker is. 154 for a nuke from ShadowWalker. There's paralysis touch. Bill is gone. 104 from the Mazmoon only, after a critical hit from the Mazmoon. Another Mazmoon strike. 3 hits, 3 damage. That Mazmoon is not getting it done. There's 230 from the nuke. 5 hits and 300 damage. That's a paralysis touch. That's a paralysis for Tiamat 2 and a nuke for the 200. There's a nuke for Tiamat 2. ShadowWalker loses 10. And he's paralyzed. His knight is down to 1 8. He cannot move. ShadowWalker perishes. The game goes back to Spellzapp. This is no Spellzapp's game to win.
Oh my. And the chat's going crazy. I don't know what to say to that. ShadowWalker's leave?
ShadowWalker is leaving the Temple of Fiends. He knows he needs the levels. He's going towards the Mirage Tower. Spellzapp pulls Tiamat 2. We know Tiamat 2 has a stun touch. If she hits you, she's got 5 hits and it will paralyze you. She also has nuke. Spellzapp starts the assault with a nuke for 114. There's that fire 3. Another nuke from Spellzapp trying to get past Tiamat 2, only 113 and a power gauntlet. Fade from Spellzapp for a $156. Tiamat 2 resisting everything. ShadowWalker is out of this at this point. Spellzapp's gonna power gauntlet again, fire a wall into Dan. There's another nuke from Spellzapp trying to take out Tiamat. That's 276 and a lightning 3 for chip damage. Watch out for Tiamat. There's the nuke. Ash is gone. Vi is gone. Dan is hurting. Denwu is gone. He's down to the knight. He's down to the fighter and a Mazmoon and a dream. There's the ink. Another Mazmoon shot from Spellzapp. 28 damage is not going to do it. Tiamat disposes of Spellzapp. Spellzapp perishes in the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
I cannot believe this Temple of Fiends Revisited. It is the nastiest we've seen in all the bracket stages so far. Maybe even the turn.
ShadowWalker going to the Blue Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon is definitely one of the 3 biggest grind tiles, as what we call them. They're tiles you can step on over and over and over to trigger the exact same encounter, pretty much. ShadowWalker definitely has that in mind. I like this play because this is the toughest of the 3, but it's also the easiest. No, he's gonna...
Where's he going, Dag? Is he just taking fights along the way? Is he going for a warback?
I think he wants the tail.
Tail?
He missed a lot of these checks, so what he's looking for is the defense sword or a white shirt, something to add that invis 2 to all of his people. And
the chat is still exploding. They're trying to figure out what in the world they would do. They're saying what they would do. They're saying what they think is going on. Spellzapp's taking levels. He's got warp, right? He has levels for level 7, those warp charges that he bought on Ash, right? Because you can't get out of here without.
He has exit on the white mage.
He has exit? Okay, level 5.
So here's another interesting play on Spellzapp's side. Chooses to stone one of the black mages and preserve its state of actually being unable to be targeted by any sort of damage. Might be bringing it back for the boss. That's a real veteran move that not many people use.
I've got to think it is the tail. I think it's fights. And I think... I'm being dead serious. I think he wants the vorpal with Tiamat 2. I mean, why wouldn't you? Obviously, but I think that might be a high priority for him. Maybe not top, but I think it's way up there.
White shirt defense, the ability to use vorpal. Yeah, you are definitely wanting this tail. Sky, we know that ShadowWalker actually checked part of these chests, but there's still a lot of chest density in this dungeon. This is one of the places, probably most easily accessible right now for ShadowWalker, to actually be able to check all these chests and hope for something big here.
Gas Dragon's starting to pound on Spellzapp. He's down to 91 HP on the fighter. I don't really think he cares, as long as he can get rid of that Gas Dragon, which he does. We'll see if he gets out of here. That's level 25 for his fighter. His white mage, he exits. He's gonna have to leave and go save it in hand. ShadowWalker continues roaming around the floating fortress.
I mean, the one good thing, ShadowWalker
Ribbon.
picks up the ribbon there. That's good to find. For Spellzapp's side is if, you know, if he did the same thing that ShadowWalker's doing and found the defense sword, his knight would have, you know, Ruse, and then his white wizard could also cast Ruse.
Yeah, that would be huge. ShadowWalker with the third ribbon is going to really help with carry too, with that Bane and that Zap. Spellzapp's paralyzed. This fighter's paralyzed. Fires a fade into these chimeras. He's gonna have to fire another one to get rid of them, and he will. There's 4 rock goals for ShadowWalker. This is a great fight. We're nearing the 90-minute mark. For a review, they entered the Temple of Fiends at the same time, within 10 seconds of each other. We'll call it 1 hour, 12 minutes, essentially. Both players have essentially left after 2 perishes and 2 wipes. Both wiped to carry 2, then both wiped to Tiamat 2.
There's a
Both
second
are looking
okay for ShadowWalker.
Both are looking for levels and some sort of way to deal with the end game.
It's unfortunate on Spellzapp's side, he has to use up those heal potions to continue his grind, and then he's gonna have to go buy more heal potions when he exits out too.
Now we know that Warp is actually a super high level spell slot, so ShadowWalker is going to be either walking through the Bridge of Destiny again or walking this dungeon out. Nope, Bridge of Destiny. Let's go. Round 2.
I don't think I've ever done this before. Chat, get out your bless RNGs. We're looking for the death machine again. So everybody, let's get him out. We didn't see him earlier. Let's see if we can see the death machine again.
Chat calling for the Warmech training routine.
Look at him go.
Do it. Do it.
I've never seen this. I've never done that before. A second time. From the same player who didn't perish on the Bridge of Destiny. ShadowWalker making it look easy though. He gets ambushed by some red hydras. Spellzapp continues to fight some red gas dragons. That white mage has got to survive, and it does.
Spellzapp looks to have about level 25 through 27 or so. That's pretty high levels for Temple of Fiends, but normally your class changed by now. So, not as high as you would hope for. ShadowWalker gets through the Bridge of Destiny a second time. It saves and heads on up.
Spellzapp saves at Canaria. ShadowWalker's flying toward Canaria. Canuck is going crazy behind the scenes. Let's see if we can get some new times. Spellzapp re-enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited for what we think is a real dive. We're going to call it 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds, Canuck? Okay. 1:30:20. ShadowWalker is going to be about a minute behind. There's that stun touch with those chimeras. Ugh.
So I gotta ask you too, on Spellzapp's side, do you take the chance when you go up against Tiamat to put the white wizard in that front slot and cast a ruse up and hope that that white wizard can just absorb those attacks?
No. Not a chance. Not your life 2 caster. I wouldn't even consider it personally. ShadowWalker enters at 1 hour 31 minutes, we're gonna call it. It's about a 35-second or so lead, if you could call it that, for entering the Temple of Fiends Revisited on the left side of your screen for Spellzapp.
Now for Spellzapp, Spellzapp does have Wall, so that's effectively a third ribbon for both of our runners right here. You have pretty much all the defense you're going to be able to get without a class promoted party.
ShadowWalker has passed
level
Spellzapp. He's through the Phantom.
I wonder if both runners were to show the dragon armor to Tiamat if Tiamat decided to be nicer to them.
ShadowWalker takes the Frost Dragons there. I kind of like that play. They're pretty good in XP, but interesting choice of using your spell slots on that team.
Looks like
When
the
you can
same
use them for
encounter
this.
table. It's gonna take them too? Spellzapp takes the Frost Dragon, ShadowWalker's taking the Green Medusas. Spellzapp uses a Fade Shot, the dragons are gone. Fire 2 gets all but 3 of the Green Medusas. They are slowing ShadowWalker down, allowing Spellzapp to catch up. He's gonna hit the Earth. This fight's the same fight. It's the same thing.
So speaking of those fights, chat pointing out that yeah, the Frost Dragons were unrunnable, so that was a forced encounter you had to take. Still a pretty good one, Frank.
Same fight again. ShadowWalker gets a chance to strike first. Spellzapp takes the fight. ShadowWalker takes the fight. Nope, Spellzapp gets away. That allows Spellzapp to get a little bit of an advantage ahead of ShadowWalker as he takes on more green. They're everywhere, Degwu. I can't see. I can't.
Well, they heard you were commentating, so they all came out to cheer you on, to watch the action live with your commentary. And it just so happens that, you're, slightly afraid of them.
Lich 2 has been taken out by Spellzapp. ShadowWalker initiates the fight with Lich 2.
Purple punching bag, proving that name right. Definitely.
It is, but at the same time, Lich 2 does have a decent amount of health. In some cases, it takes 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds, even with nuke charges, just because of how much health it has.
Spellzapp closing in on Carry 2. We know that she's got, I think it's a Fire 3 and then the Bane in Zap.
Bane first, actually, because it beat Spellzapp's wall in turn 1 in his last step.
Spellzapp initiates the fight with Carry 2. She took out both players earlier. There's the wall, initiative, and there's the Bane. Poison Smoke into Vi, Poison Smoke into Ash.
That went through a ribbon.
It
did.
There's the Blaze. Unless Spellzapp walled a character with a ribbon already on, I don't know what happened there.
This seat is not playing around, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Yeah.
Round 1 of the final 4 between these wonderful top.
Carry attacks ShadowWalker. He gets past the Bane. The first round. 443 for the Mazmoon. Spellzapp tries to take the lead. A nuke from ShadowWalker. Another nuke. Back to back. 252 is not enough. Can the Mazmoon take out Carry 2? It does. Kraken 2. Both players have already been through Kraken 2. We know Kraken 2 has literally 0 health. A fade and a nuke and another nuke should take out Kraken 2, and it does not. But a swing from the Mazmoon for 46 does not. Kraken 2 has Cure 4?
That takes it out of the pool, which is really good for our runners because this Kraken has no HP.
That's a high evade Kraken as it kills Spellzapp. Last time Spellzapp went through, Kraken 2 did a Cure 4 right off the bat. This time, though, was able to take all those hits and then Cure 4 it back up. Thankfully, though, less than 600 health.
Yeah, I never saw it. We're being told ShadowWalker saw it. We must have missed it. Same encounter table. Spellzapp is, 4 or 5 steps ahead in one encounter. ShadowWalker gets away. Now he hits the Sorcerer encounter. They're on the same encounter. ShadowWalker gets away. He takes the lead. About to battle Tiamat 2. This Tiamat 2 is tough. ShadowWalker directly to the Power Gauntlet. There's the Fire 3. We know Nuke is next. ShadowWalker's gonna try to take out Tiamat 2 before Tiamat 2 takes him out. Back-to-back nukes, they get resisted both times. Spellzapp is on Tiamat 2. We know Fire 3 is the first spell. It's already been used against ShadowWalker. And ShadowWalker, Power Gauntlet, but Tiamat 2 still hanging in there. Get ShadowWalker, get on Tiamat 2 at 16. No, Tiamat attacks physically. ShadowWalker's still standing. Spellzapp is still standing. 296 from ShadowWalker. A nuke from Spellzapp, 181. ShadowWalker 393 isn't enough, followed up by a nuke from ShadowWalker to Tiamat 2 for 270. Tiamat 2 is down for ShadowWalker, 1 hour 37 minutes. Spellzapp trying to take out Tiamat 2 and try to even this up. Tiamat 2 attacks physically. Spellzapp fires another nuke for a buck 14 in the Mazmoon, not doing too much, but it is enough. Spellzapp is through Tiamat 2. ShadowWalker has healed. Wow.
Neither runner actually get another encounter after that Tia 2. We're pretty
Spellzapp
much
passes ShadowWalker. 1 hour 37 minutes. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, fans. Are you ready? ShadowWalker, 1 hour 37 minutes 34 seconds. Pulls Chaos. Starts with the Power Gauntlet and starts to attack with the nuke. The nuke hits for a $166. There's Bane. Bane misses his 3 Light Warriors. Another nuke from ShadowWalker for 222, and he's got the Power Gauntlet up. Spellzapp is preparing for this fight a little bit more than ShadowWalker did. 318 from a nuke from ShadowWalker, and another nuke. 1 hour 38 minutes for a $143. Chaos bashes Bill. Bill's down to 100 HP. Spellzapp is in this now. He initiates the fight. Another Power Gauntlet from ShadowWalker, and he continues the assault for 143. There's a Brack from ShadowWalker into Chaos. It's ineffective. Rub misses. Power Gauntlet. There's the Bane from Chaos, and it hits. It hits Vi. Vi is gone. He's down to 3 Light Warriors. ShadowWalker still maintaining his 3 Light Warrior strategy. Bill is down to 5 HP with a Lightning 3 and chip damage, and there's an attack from the Basement at the Power Gauntlet. GG's and congratulations. We've got a winner, fans. 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 25 seconds. ShadowWalker takes game 1.
What a finish! Oh, GG for both of these runners. You have to love close races like this. This is the power of Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Nuke from Spellzapp into Chaos for 106. A strike from the Masmoon for 32 damage. That's it. There's a Lightning 2 from Chaos. ShadowWalker didn't get that deep into this fight. Spellzapp knows that ShadowWalker has finished. He's trying to finish this out. Lightning 3 from Spellzapp. 60 damage. Stun hits the White Mage. Strike from the Masmoon is good. 118. GG's and congratulations, fighting Chaos at the same time that his opponent did. Spellzapp finishes 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 9 seconds. That is a difference of 35 plus 9, 40? 44 seconds. Wow. I'd like to welcome to the broadcast booth our winner, ShadowWalker 227. Congratulations.
Thank you. I knew that was close at the end there. I felt like I was ahead going into Topher, but man, that Topher rocked me.
We'll wait to see if we can get... oh, there's Spellzapp. He's on his way. I see him walking down the hallway. We'll give you a little bit of hard numbers. You got him, Lyra?
Mono recap? What?
Yeah, bring him in.
Okay. There we
Spellzapp.
are.
It's Wilkliosis. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Congratulations and good game to you. We've got both of you here. We haven't had a chance to really even talk to ShadowWalker yet. I wanted to go through some hard numbers. The first in the air was ShadowWalker, 26 minutes. Spellzapp, 33 and a half minutes. Go mode, ShadowWalker, 50 minutes. Spellzapp, 57 minutes. The first misstep came from ShadowWalker when he got nuked by the green ogres. Spellzapp, you were able to get through it. ShadowWalker entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited first. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Spellzapp entered Temple of Fiends Revisited initially. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 55 seconds. It was a 10-second difference when you entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Guys, talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, GG ShadowWalker, man.
GG, man. I knew after my first 2 Topher dives that it was going to be a real close race, but I didn't realize just how close it was. I took some early gambles, and they really paid off for me, so I felt like I had a bit of a lead. I didn't think it was a 10-second lead, but GG, man. That was
Hey,
fun.
thank you. Yeah, I did take a gamble. I saw I got nuked by the green ogres, so I basically didn't do chest diving in Earth because I forgot exactly which floor they came on. So it was my only gamble. Everything else was kind of full clear at that point.
Yeah, I actually didn't see Garogers at all in Earth Cave. I go-moded Earth Cave, basically. I checked a couple greed chests along the way because I was still looking for more loose items. But I didn't see them at all there, so it wasn't until Carrie's floor that I saw Garogers and got double nuked on an ambush.
Yeah, I get one nuke. I took one nuke before Carrie, but I don't think I got the 2.
Yeah, well, this is Dang Wu, but to kind of move along on that point, Shadow, I believe, got ambushed by the 2 ogres and ogres, so they got into the round 2 and nuked him with 2 of them. You only ran into 1 ogre, But unfortunately for you, Spellzapp, on the Earth Cave, you got ambushed and got turned to double nuked and had to reset. And you said, nope, I am go moding Earth. Now, to kind of talk about it, though, on ShadowWalker side, you go moded Earth pretty much right off the bat without even seeing the nuke spell. So what was your idea behind it, or the reasoning?
So, Spellzapp is a very strong opponent, and in order to try and give myself a little bit of buffer room, I decided that I was going to mainly check greed chests throughout dungeons. And that was going to be my strategy to try and build up a little bit of an early lead. And it ended up paying off for me because the 2 loose that were required, I managed to find pretty easily just doing go mode type checks.
Did you manage to dig out the power gauntlet at all?
I did.
Yeah, I thought you were going to when I saw that. I was like, yeah, he'll probably grab that one. He'll probably get it.
Yeah, that ended up being instrumental for Tiamat 2 and Chaos. I basically nuked my way through most of the Fiends, but Tiamat was beefy. She had a lot of HP and a lot of absorb.
Yeah, I still nuked my way through her.
Which is interesting because, so for ShadowWalker side, you did the double black fighter, and Spellzapp did 1 white, 1 black with the fighter. It was kind of interesting watching what was the reasoning between you two, and let's begin with the winner. ShadowWalker, what was your reasoning behind the double black mage over using the white mage?
So when I saw that level 1 white magic was garbage, I was immediately thinking, okay, I'm going to Dan her, and then I didn't see any other early white magic early on to make me change my mind. And immediately I'll walk over to the next shop, and I saw level 1 nuke, and I was like, yep, I'm definitely danning the white mage.
Well, I kind of kept her around because I didn't want to make my decision just then. I did see level 5 exit, which kind of led me to keep her. And then Fade showed up at 4. So I was like, okay, well, he can make up kind of for the difference.
I'll do one more question before I hand it over to the Baroness herself, Lyra. I just wanted to talk to this to Spellzapp real quick on the Tiamat fight. Did you ever consider putting the white wizard up front and casting Ruse, since you had 4 casts of it, since Tiamat 2 had such a hard-hitting attack on top of nuke?
I thought about it, but the nuke really kind of took precedent in my head, I guess, which was kind of weird because the second time I went after Tiamat, she didn't even bother using it. But so that was kind of like my main concern there.
Hi, you two.
Hey,
First of
Lyra.
all, congratulations, Shadow. Thank you for giving us quite the race. So let's start from a little bit of the beginning there. You definitely did not see that there was a Fade in the pool. It was around level 3 or 4. Elflin had it along with Heal 3. I know we talked about it a little bit before, but how gutsy were you feeling just going full offense like that?
I love having 2 black magic casters. That is my comfort zone. Ideally, it would be fighter red mage, black mage, just for a little bit of access to white magic, but fighter black belt is total comfort zone for me. I don't feel out of place at all. And I did see the level 3 fade, level 3 heal 3, so I was like, maybe, but I was already pretty much committed to going to just danning the white mage and not even worrying about it.
So we saw that definitely pay off for you.
I actually considered bringing the white mage back at the very end when I saw Bane and Zap on carry 2, because level 1 wall is a thing. That was a possible adjustment, but I thought that there was no way that white mage was going to live down that far.
How many ribbons did you get?
Well, I initially found 1, and I dove Topher and saw Bane and Zap on carry. Redove Topher a second time, blasted through carry, 1-rounded Kraken 2, and then hit the brick wall of Tiamat. And I said, okay, I'm probably not going to get lucky enough to have all 3 of my characters survive through Bane and Zap. I need to go find a second ribbon. So I left, and I went and checked all of the rest of Sky, except for half of the spider room and the 1 chest in Sky 1 South. And managed to find a second ribbon on Sky 3.
It's always in the sky.
We've got a question from chat for our winner, ShadowWalker. It's from Zymanus. Checking the 2 chests on the carry floor. What was going through your mind? Why did you do it?
I wanted a ribbon. That was even before I'd seen Bane and Zap, and I wanted a second ribbon. Turns out I didn't know how right I was.
That right there was definitely the better play since you didn't have access to wall right there. So after you saw Carrie and Tia 2, you decided to bail completely and just run straight off the sky. What was your exact intention with that? Was it gear, or was it levels, or was it
It was either. I needed either more levels or better gear. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and go do Sky, and I'm going to look for either a second ribbon, a defense sword, maybe a white shirt would have been good enough. And if I don't find any of those, I'm going to go kill some war mechs.
And considering that Elflin was actually on rack, would mermaids have possibly been in your head, or just...
My next play, if Sky had really not panned out, was going to be Volcano Armory, because I completely skipped Volcano Armory, so in my mind, that's a bunch of chests and it's really easy to get to. Even easier and more clustered than mermaids.
Believe it or not, both of you actually skipped that. Spellzapp. Way to go. I'm so happy you actually finished that, and just completely giving us the most razor sharp of actual finishes. Tell me a little bit about how you were feeling. I know we already talked about this going through White Mage the entire way through. How are you feeling about Temple of Fiends itself with that little bit of extra defense instead of offense?
Well, having 2 nukes and a fade, you kind of just go flat out offense a lot, and it does actually kind of carry you through, which I was kind of disrespecting it a little too hard when I got to Tiamat, which actually is the right play, because when you have a nuke in a chamber like that, you really want to get the bosses out of the way as fast as you can. But I was telling myself, wall the fighter, and then I forgot on the first dive with Carrie. But I was like, well, I don't want to go digging for items after I wiped, so I kind of just felt like, okay, I need to grind. I need to find the grind. I think I saw a lot of gas dragons, and that's what I wanted to grind on.
So I guess one more last question before we go off to Will here. This is for both of you. So, were you even thinking in the back of your head, okay, the third loose item is tail, do I absolutely want this? We'll go ahead and start with you.
I wanted it, but I was not going to take the time to go dig for it. The only advantage the tail would have actually given me was the ability to equip the dragon armor and the opal shield, which would have been more absorb, but I didn't really need them, and especially after finding the second ribbon, I really didn't need them for the resists either. I felt confident in my gear. I guess the other thing it might have given me would have been faster warp, because those are both very high level. So, something to consider.
Yeah, I think if I was wanting to go dig for stuff, I'd probably want to get either the defense sword or another ribbon.
Coming up tomorrow, that will be June 5th, 2019, Game 2, ShadowWalker and Spellzapp. That's going to be right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. We're not sure what channel quite yet, hasn't been assigned, but we're going to be here. It's going to be brought to you by Demon Frog. It's going to be doing that show. Great to hear from Demon Frog. We see him in the chat hanging out over there in crowd control. That's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Congratulations to our winner, a 1-0 in this best of 3. It is ShadowWalker. Looking to close this out tomorrow and try and move on to the finals. We will move on right now to our final thoughts for this evening. We'll start with our winner. That is you, ShadowWalker. Final thoughts on either the match tonight or moving forward to tomorrow.
Spellzapp's a great opponent. Absolutely thrilled to be able to play him in the semifinals. And it sounds like it was a razor-thin edge on this match. So I'm real excited to watch this one back. Like I said, I thought I was in the lead, so to know that it was that close the whole way is really exciting to go back and watch this.
Spellzapp. Backs against the wall. Gotta win one tomorrow. It's coming up 24 hours from now. Thoughts on that moving forward?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to change a whole lot. I might cut a little bit of corners, but again, it's not. You only have 24 hours, so you can't come up with a whole new strategy. So I'm just going to come back and give it my.
We'd like to thank Speed Gaming, Carito, help us get set up over here, and the Speed Gaming family of everything that they do for us, that we can bring you this great tournament. We are down to the final four. This show was brought to you by Team Vorpal, the Baroness, Dengwu. We got together. Great show. Pleasure to work with you guys.
Amazing as always. Yeah, special thanks to SG for hosting us once again. But more importantly, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having fun without our community here. Not just the people that are on the Discord, not just the people that are on YouTube, but everyone that's hanging out with Twitch and again on YouTube later on. We definitely want to thank you all for tuning in each and every broadcast. What do you think, Dang?
I think Dengwu's hanging out in the Crescent Lake retirement home. I'm just down the hall from him. We both got eliminated in the Sweet 16. Thank you once again to Speed Gaming, the Hangry Canuck, and everything that you do. Took care of all the tracking in the background, made some notes for us, caught a few things that certainly I missed as well. For our players, ShadowWalker227, Spellzapp, for the Baroness, Lyra, SRL, Dengwu, my name is Wickliosis. I am the Smooth Talker. For now, 24 hours from now, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, tomorrow, June 5th, right here on the Speed Gaming Family Networks, it will be Game 2, Spellzapp and ShadowWalker. Does ShadowWalker move forward and cement his spot in the finals? Or does Spellzapp, after this great match, could have gone either way, take that match and force the do-or-die Game 3? Find out right here on Speed Gaming 24 hours from now. That being said, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com is the place to go if you're interested in playing this game. There's links to our Discord should you wish to join us as well. Our duckling pond is full of ducks. They are everywhere. Mama Duck's trying to corral them, should you be interested in that. Thank you once again to Speed Gaming, Hangry Canuck, and both our players tonight, and thank you to you, the fans. Without you, we cannot do this. And a reminder, revive the power of the orbs.